Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of this week's Scoot Friday. We're super excited to be here. I see we've got Justin, we've got Martin, and a couple of other guys in the comments already. So welcome, everybody. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Today, it's just me and Awa. Awa, how are you doing? I know you're recovering from a bit of a cold, so hopefully feeling a bit better.
Yes, I'm feeling better just in time for this live, so really excited about it. Doing well. What about you?
Got you through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm a little. I'm still in BC with visiting some family from the holidays, so it's a little cold. So excuse the jacket here. But actually, maybe we'll get to it when we talk about the Go. Being in BC was kind of a blessing, and being able to test out the Scoot, which was really cool. So welcome everybody. Is Chris in prison? Not yet. No, he's I guess, and you could say maybe a bit of a metaphorical prison. He's stuck with a bunch of customers, big box customers specifically, dealing with the negotiations over pricing and discounts and distribution. So he's a little held up with that. But we've got a lot of cool updates to share today, and I thought we could kick it off with some questions that have been submitted in advance. So, the first one's for you. Will the final version of the Go have the visible wires? Is it possible to remove them in the next design? What would that take?
Yes, there will be visible wires. This is something we don't usually do, and it's the way that the front suspension is built, right? We made the V2 that didn't have any front suspension. The wire were invisible, but just because everything is assembled to pass the wire inside, it's impossible at the moment. So I think it's something we can look at for the future, because all of us would like to hide those wires. But for now, no, they're going to be exposed.
Yeah, I mean, we went through a lot of back and forths on that one, right? Because I think all of our scooters we took a lot of pride in hiding the cables on the earlier models. And so to now have to find a way to accommodate it outside was a bit of a step back in that sense. That said, if we wanted the suspension, there was no other way, right? So the suspension is something we would have to pass the wire through to connect to the front motor. And we tried and tried and tried, and in the end, we just decided it wasn't worth it. But what we will be improving, I think, versus the video that we dropped yesterday, is there will be like a cable management solution, right?
Yes, they're going to be a bit improved. We're going to put clip and a cover over this. And I think as production goes on, we're going to try to refine it more and more, and hopefully one day achieve the complete invisible wires.
Cool. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. A lot of concern for Chris, I see in the comments today. We'll let him know he's okay. Don't worry. He's just on a call with one of the big box customers, Best Buy. So he's probably going to join late, but no promises. But we'll pass the regards along. No worries. So next question, also for you, Awa. Devastated to see the Explorers off the table for 2024. The folding deck design, will it be integrated into future Apollo scooters?
For now, no, because that's the main reason we put it on pause, because of those folding, this folding design. Like we mentioned multiple times, and I think we have a video on that. It's or maybe we should make an official one, but it's too polarizing. Like we post it on Facebook, people hate it. They destroy the Explorer. They said it's the worst thing ever made, and how can we make something so dumb, right? And you post it on YouTube, and everybody is like, "Oh, I'm gonna reserve it," and they're so excited. So it's weird, the two world, So I don't really know what to think about it, and I do think we got a couple of a decent amount of reservation since the start. The Explorer it's solid, it's made, it's there. I have one downstairs, but it's at the end of the day, it would take too much time, I think, to educate people on this riding style, and other companies are doing it now. So I think we cannot afford to take such a big risk, and it's not like this is all, if you look at like Pure Scooter or Tour Scooter, they both have this style of riding, but that's the only cool scooter they have, so for them it's like, well, we can only launch it because we have nothing else cool in the pipeline, while for us we have list of scooters we can make that are less risky for us, from that point of view. So I think the wise thing to do is going to be to see how the market react to those scooters, and then maybe put it back on the table and improve it even more with all the things we learned from the Go, for example, and the Pro. There's always continuous improvement. So that's what is happening. That's what's happening with it right now.
Yeah. So I guess it's fair to say it's not canceled. It's just paused for now until maybe the market matures a little bit more.
Yeah.
Cool. Will we ever see a lightweight version of the Pro? Maybe remove some features.
Well, like, you know, it's the Apollo City. Go buy it now. It's yeah, I don't know. Do you how do you want me to answer that, Maciek?
Yeah, it's always a bit of a tough exercise, right? Like, how much do we want to share about what's in the pipeline versus not? I mean, you know, the whole pitch behind the Go is essentially the most compact version of a Pro that still gives you access to all the high-end features, right? So you have the same headset, you still have 90% of the same features, obviously just kind of tuned down based on range and top speed. So I would say the Go is shaping up to be sort of the most lightweight option we have available today, aside from the Air. And the only other thing we could share is that we're working on a more stripped down version of the Go. So we're looking at making a scooter that's probably going to be $700 to $800, no suspension, but really kind of retaining even more of that Pro and Go DNA. So, you know, we're kind of, this is the challenge for a while. How far can we take the essence of Apollo, that performance DNA, while still making the scooter usable and affordable? You know, that's the challenge. So no plans for a lightweight version of the Pro. Like if you're expecting a Pro Mini, it's not planned for right now. But we are taking a lot of those features, a lot of that essence, and putting it into the Go and expanding that lineup. Updates on the Pro mirror and lock purchase on Indiegogo.
Yeah, so we are redoing all the accessories, right? Where are we at today? We have which one are we making? I guess we can mention we are making new headlights, we're making mirrors, we are making our new lock, obviously. We are making a carry bag for the Apollo Go, and what else am I forgetting? Much.
You said new headlights, new
mirrors, the
lock. We got the. Are we doing the tire pressure gauge thing?
I don't know. We have a TPMS little computer that tells you tire pressure, and it beeps when it's out of pressure. We're testing. We have it at the office, so we could do that. We are doing a no bar extender as well. We are doing air pump and the carry bag for the Go. Those are the ones we're doing. Right now, I got the sample for all of them. We're just designing the box. The mirrors, the problem with the mirrors, you know, that has been the most complicated accessory we did so far, because I want an adapter that's going to fit on the Go, but also the Pro and the City and the Air, and all those handlebar except for the Pro are very artistic, right? It's not common shape. I got the video yesterday actually of those adapters, so everything is on track. We are aiming to be in stock or almost in stock for all of them in March. That's what we're aiming for. The lock is going on right now, the production. The mirrors, I confirmed the bracket. Once we order it, it takes, I don't know, 30 days. Yeah. So yeah, by March, it should look completely different accessory section on the website.
So in regards to the specific question about, you know, when am I going to get my accessories, essentially, if you all ordered on Indiegogo, your scooter is going to be shipping out and delivering in the next 2 weeks, which is great news. I think the first container is already at the port. And then it's just a question of, you know, getting it over to the fulfillment facility and shipping it out. In terms of the accessories, like Eloi mentioned, they're all in their final stages of production. So it's probably going to be more of like a March timeline for delivery. But they're coming before the riding season kicks off as well. So you should be all set. Phantom V4 in 2024. So we've mentioned many times before that we're not making further, we're not investing in further R&D with the Phantom, and that's still the case. We spent a lot of time in 2023 redesigning the entire folding and direction, not the folding, sorry, the direction tube, right? Obviously, as a function of the recall. So it's now, well, you could probably explain in a bit more detail, but it's basically, from what I understand, no longer bolt based, but it's now a like an inner tube that sort of holds it in place. So obviously much more sturdy, and so it's one of those upgrades that doesn't look like anything on the outside, but internally it obviously provides a lot more rigidity and structural strength. And then the only other update we're working on is self-healing tires, but that would be almost like like an optional type of upgrade that we're looking at introducing now. So no further plans. Repair location suggestions for my pro in Las Vegas. Do we have anyone in Las Vegas, Elwa, that you know of? I don't think so, no.
No, we don't know.
Well, I mean, what we can share is that, kind of abstracting from Vegas as a specific destination for scooter repairs, we are working on finding a national servicing provider. So someone that could basically allow us to tackle the top 50, top 100 cities in the US all in one shot. And discussions with a number of providers are proceeding pretty well. So the goal is to be in those at least top 20 locations by spring of this season. So please stay tuned. We'll be sharing those updates as they become available. But rest assured, knowing that we're hard at work on expanding the servicing options in the US.
There's a repair center here available, so I'll just post it in the chat.
Okay, thanks all. And last question: in-app ride stats so we can compete with friends and earn rewards. Is that coming in 2024?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Something like
in-app stats to compare with your friends and earn points.
Yeah, we're working on a refresh of the app with everything we learned. There's still some room some improvement to be made on the app, and this is part of it. Advanced ride details. We have access to all those details already in the backend, like we showed before, to give proper health diagnostic about scooters. And now we would want it to make it visible to customers as well. It's just a bit more complicated than we thought because you have so many graphic. Every second we refresh it. I don't know, 10 times, like every graph. The current, the voltage, the battery, every sensor. So on computer, it's manageable, but when you shrink it down to a mobile phone, we need to design a new UI UX for this, which we did. Now it's just a question of implementing it. So to answer your question, yes, and the same thing for like leaderboard or to be able to have more of a social interaction within the app. It's also planned for 2024.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm sharing on the screen, but what I was alluding to in terms of the backend data that we have, thank you, Randy, is all visible here, right? So this is basically, it's how the app is a bit like the tip of the iceberg, and then there's the 90% of the iceberg below the surface. This is the part below the surface. Elwa and his team have been working really, really hard on this, and it records all. Maybe we can blur out some of the names to avoid, any privacy.
Maybe go to right and go to Martin.
Yeah, Martin's here, so hopefully he doesn't mind being an example. But just to kind of demonstrate what the capabilities are. So let me just find someone. Would it be Martin Brenner? Okay, so Martin's one of the customers who's actually here. Thank you, Martin, for your permission.
I think that's the 22-kilometer one.
Sure. So what are we seeing here? Basically per ride in terms of information gathered.
So we see Martin, we see his credit card details and account number. No, we see. So if we start from the top, we see the Martin, the account when it was created. We see the details about the phone, which is very important when we try to do a diagnostic about bugs that people are experiencing, because we see that sometimes just a Samsung with the latest Android is gonna bug. So having this kind of detail is very important. Then we have the serial number, the name of the scooter, the model of the scooter, the odometer on the scooter. Already 1,000 kilometers, Martin, on your go. Let's fucking go. The highest one we've seen so far. So people can see now, it's true, the beta testing. And then we see the setting.
Martin's one of the beta testers that's using the Go right now. One of the requirements in the program was 1,000 kilometers in 4 weeks. It was like an impossible requirement, no? But Martin did it.
Martin did it in 3 days. So thank you, Martin.
Very
We have the setting. You know, a lot of people are reaching out saying, "Oh, my scooter, you know, is only going at 20 kilometers per hour." So there we can see it in settings. We say, "Well, it's because it's still locked." You know, so go into your setting and change it. More details about the device, and then we enter into the diagnostic section. So this one we made it super easy to understand for anyone. You know, if it's green, it's good. If it's yellow, it's not that it's okay, but and it's a red, there's a problem. So we built the sensors monitoring around that. You have controller temperature, motor temperature, and on the Pro, you have battery temperature now. You have like the start time, hand time, and we also added the weather now. So this is giving an indication to the customer service agent. Well, if the controller is overheating, but it's 100-degree outside, well, it makes sense, you know. We have the max speed, the average speed, battery consumption, and the battery health. Based on the mileage that you do and the consumption of the battery, we can have a rough watt-hour per kilometer consumption, and we have table based on, like, in this example, from 15 to 25, it's fine. Over that, it's going to be yellow and then red. So that's giving you an idea. We have the map of where you went, and we see the elevation too in the map. So this is also giving an idea to the customer service agent. Is he going uphill, and that's why it's overheating? And then we have the graph with all the little details of all the sensors on the scooter, and we can isolate each one of them to be more readable. But basically, this is right now what people have access is the map. You can see where you went during your ride. Now you're going to gain access to the bottom graph, and again, it's going to be displayed much. It's going to be much more clear than what you see right now. And yeah, and just to be clear, those rides that you see there, it's only when you select the ride option on the app. We don't always monitor what you do. It's really when you're connected, click on the ride to record it in the app, that then we gain access in the backend.
Yeah, super cool. Thank you a lot. And like Alois said, you know, a lot of this information is used for diagnosis, so that if Martin reaches out and says, you know, I'm having overheating issues, or maybe my battery is not charging fully, what's going on, we actually can go off of something on the back end and say, you know, maybe try this or try that before, you know, jumping to any conclusions. We know one of the pain points for our customers is just having to, you know, record videos of when the scooter doesn't perform, right, or taking pictures. So we want to just eliminate all of that together, and ideally get to a place where we can run a lot of diagnostics just proactively on the app. So the only request would be, you know, basically connect to the scooter with your app, and voila, like that would be the end of the diagnosis there. So anyway, long story short, like I said, the goal is to make this information usable and visible in the app to our riders. But we just wanted to give you a little preview of what it is we're actually working with on the back end here. So hopefully that was interesting for everyone. In terms of the questions that have been asked here, we have quite a bit of a backlog. Let's take a look. Cool. Donovan, waiting patiently for my Pro. I never ordered the retractable lock with the original order. Can I still order that lock? Yes. Or when can I order it? You will be able to order it through our website. I believe we're just waiting for the production to finish and the shipping to start, so we can have a concrete ETA. We'll be sending out an email to notify our newsletter that the lock is available. So if you haven't already, feel free to head on over to our site and just drop your email in the box at the bottom, and then you'll be notified when it's available. Martin, I know how I stand on my Pro, and I do it side by side often. I think only on big hills would be an issue. I'm not sure about that. I guess this is in respect to the Go, probably, when we were talking about it.
Yeah, the Explorer, I think.
Oh, the Explorer, I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Explorer, I think we've covered that many times before, right? Like it was less to do, like the number one critique of the scooter was people worried it would not be stable when braking or accelerating, which I think I speak for both of us is just not the case, having tested the scooter properly. But it almost doesn't matter if everyone thinks it's an issue, you know? So commercially, the scooter has to be viable. And we just concluded it would be far too expensive to educate everyone on the fact that it's not an issue. Like it's just you're starting with an uphill battle. You know, if the starting point for everyone is this scooter will not work, it's dangerous. It's going to be a very difficult battle to win. So we decided to put it on pause for that reason. What about an update to the city with that set of the Go and the phone mount? What about that, Owa?
It's yeah, that's an interesting one. I think if we were to update the city, we would get some features of the Go, obviously. So yeah, that's an interesting suggestion. Right now, it's gonna all of this we're gonna check after Chinese New Year, because now we're focusing really on the Go and the Pro.
Cool. The seats, we know has been requested many times. The issue we're having is that we cannot make it compatible with all of our models, which means we would need to have multiple molds open for that accessory, and it's unreasonably expensive, essentially, at this time. So I think a lot. I mean, I don't know what you think, but maybe when we get to a point where we phased out some of the existing models and we phased in some of the newer ones, and we find a way to make it compatible across the board, that's when we would consider doing it. But until then, it's probably not going to happen.
Yep, indeed.
Carry bag for Justin. The carry bag was for the Go, so stay tuned on that. What is the ETA on the Apollo Pro pre-orders to go for delivery? I believe all of that has been communicated by email with an order breakdown, but high level, they're starting to ship in the next week, with delivery in the next 2 weeks. And that's for the Indiegogo backers. And then we're going to work backwards from there to mostly pre-orders as well. Everyone should receive theirs by early Feb at the latest. Shay, thank you so much. We love you too. Big donk. Can we get off-road tires for the Pro?
Yeah, it's something we are. I think marketing is looking into it. We have them available, so available. We can buy them. So we would like to. I believe we would like to have them. To be confirmed soon, but it's definitely on our radar.
Well, one of the versions, I think, was what, the V4 or something. V5 had the off-road tires, right? So we sort of just ended up testing them out by accident, but they're pretty cool. Cool sounds is amazing. Yeah, we'll get back to you on that one. Can't wait for the new Apollo Phantom on the horizon. When will I be able to order the new Welcome mirrors for my Beta Pro? Yeah, once again, they will be available on the website in the coming months. So DRGB, please sign up to the newsletter, and we'll notify you once they're available. Very cool. Pro Beta upgrade kit, other than the latch and deck tape that was sent out. So Donny, that's a good question. We went through the options available many times, and what was included in the upgrade kit is all that we basically all that made sense for us to offer right now. Everything else was either like a deep structural change that didn't really, like, it just didn't make sense to include in an upgrade kit, or it would basically be so immaterial that it wouldn't really make a difference. So really what you got were the big ones that made sense as upgrades. But if there's anything in particular you're thinking about, or like a specific component you're worried about, just shoot us an email and we'll see what we can do. I assume if you're in a beta group, you're probably close to a repair center, so we can make an exception. But in general, the upgrade kit was put together with the intention of giving you the most value with the least repairs required to install it. I submitted a question about support in DC. Washington, DC contains 2 of the top 10 places in the US for scooter bike. Is our area included in your plans for top 20 places you're expanding to? DC, yeah, definitely. Any major US city basically made that list. So DC is not just any major US city, it's also one of our top markets on the East Coast. So we're definitely looking at providers there. There are a number of options that we're considering right now, and we're just to be fully transparent. The last 3 months we've spent developing all types of repair content. That's why if you go to our YouTube channel, videos about product seem to be drowned out by a flood of repair videos. And it may seem pretty random that we're doing it now, but actually it's been very intentional. We're building up a repair bank for all of our models across the board. Simultaneously, a big supply chain project has been to consolidate all of our parts into semi-assemblies. So we've gone from having 100+ individual parts per scooter into having 20 or so assemblies. If you head on over to our site right now and you go to the spare parts and accessories section, there's a sub-page called Spare Parts Selector. You can get a preview of what that looks like. What are these semi-assemblies, right? So a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes to really give us the foundation that we can then build on for additional servicing locations. So where we're at now is just the final negotiations for pricing and figuring out how that's going to work before rolling it out to the public. So really exciting. Cool. I think a couple questions for you here. So 2 parts, bracket smaller part to attach to scooter, larger assembly with the seat itself that attaches. I think that's a suggestion from Martin for the seat. So I'll let you digest that one.
Yeah. For the seat, there's multiple considerations. So it's I don't know. The only way, honestly, I see the seat being made, like the mold. To give you an idea, the mold for a seat is like 40 grand, or more than that. Like it would need to be like we open like a pre-order, or we do like like an internal Kickstarter or something, for people to already finance it if they are interested. But yeah, maybe having some kind of bracket to make it adaptable to more models is interesting. But still, it's 40 grand even for one seat. It's a lot of money. So it's to be considered. But thank you, Martin.
Cool. Just a note for future developments, I own the City 2022 and a Phantom V3, both with different handlebars. I hate to go back and to straighten the handlebar on the City. I love the curved. Oh yeah, I think that this is more of like a handlebar profile. Yeah, I mean, a lot. Have we ever discussed handlebar profiles?
Yeah, it's, I think about me and Match agree that straight is weird after you written something like the Pro that is even more curved than the Phantom, are very similar. For the Go, we wanted to do that too. Match was arresting me to do it curve, but the manufacturing method was not allowing it for now. We agree. We agree. A curve just feels better.
Yeah, the only exception to that I would say is the Go, where if the handlebar is short enough, the fact that it's straight doesn't really matter as much anymore because you're just kind of writing in a more natural position. So I think there's probably like a tipping point there where if you go wide enough, at some point it's got to curve, right? So yeah, it's an interesting question. And I think ideally we get to a point where we have options for people, right? So if you prefer curved, you just upgrade to a curved one, and if you prefer straight, you stick to that one. Martin, PDF of service manuals with part diagrams and schematics, as well as screw sizes and torque settings. I mean, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have all of that information in the service manuals already, right?
Yeah, so first point, the PDF service manuals are on the website, obviously. We are launching, I guess we're going to make it available, but we have step-by-step instruction with pictures, all the torque, all the Loctite of how to assemble a whole scooter. It's basically what we did for the factory. We're going to make it available for repair centers and people that want to repair their scooter. So that'll be, we call it SOP. The parts diagram, well, we have the part selector on the website, which it's fantastic. And the screw size, the torque, this is all within the box when we ship you a scooter, and it's also in the service manual that you have every single screw, every single spec and name and picture of the screw, so you can order it online or go to the hardware store. I think we put the torque for all the important screw now. All the other one can be like hand tightened pretty much, but it would be nice to have a torque for all of them. But yeah, I think we have the foundation of all those things, and we can probably improve it a little bit. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the effort that we made to making all of this available to customers.
Yeah, and if you want to get a little preview of that, I think it's in one of the China videos that we posted on YouTube recently, right? It might be the quality one or the production walkthrough. So if you're curious, you can just check out our YouTube channel, and it's one of the last 2 or 3 videos where Awa walks through the production line and kind of points out the different SOPs, and yeah, you can get a sense of what it looks like. Last couple of questions before we wrap it up. Awa, a little shout out for you.
Yes, I had a lot of fun in China. Thank you.
Was there new product launches you have coming up to talk about, Justin? So no, not per se launches. We've started working on a number of new concepts for 2025. I think it's a little premature to share for now, but we are working on a couple of different ideas in a couple of different directions. I already mentioned one would be a stripped down version of the Go that retails for at an even more affordable price point. If you have any suggestions for models that you think are missing in a portfolio, or maybe a scooter concept that hasn't been done before, and you have reason to believe it would be successful at scale, do let us know. I'm happy to drop my email in here as well, so you can just reach out to us anytime, or maybe Randy, you can help me just share my email in the chat. But always happy to have a conversation about that. Cool. Thanks, Randy. What, if any, are the plans for the city lineup in the near future? So the 2023 city is becoming the 2024 city. There are 0 updates happening, mostly because the 2023 city only really hit the shelves in like September of 2023, right? So it's only really been in market for 4 months. And the feedback we're getting is so positive. It's such a stable product that we want to make it available for a little bit longer before making any changes. So for now, we're focusing on the go, like Elwha said, and starting to think about some other models. So no 2024 updates to the current lineup. The Pro stays as is. The Phantom, maybe pending the little update with self-heating tires, stays as is. The City stays as is. The Air stays as is, and we're just adding the Go. So we're actually very, very excited to have 1 launch only as opposed to 3 or 4, like we always do. It's going to be a more stable year for us. Cool. Elwha, anything else to add before we wrap it up?
No, it's pretty. No, I have nothing else to add. Thank you, everyone, for joining. There was a lot of questions. See, people were excited for those MA Friday to be back. So yeah, thank you, everyone. And even if we don't necessarily work on those projects right now, your feedback is let us know if you want different things, because one day we obviously will. So we gotta consider all of them. So it's always super valuable.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for tuning in. We know it's always a bit of a weird time on a Friday afternoon, but we appreciate every single one of you tuning in. So thank you very much, and see you next week. Take care, everyone.